I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's no point wondering why the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors can speak the same language to each other when they're both trapped in Orochi's realm, and why Orochi, the Snake Demon, can speak to people from either party when the game is prefaced on the idea that a Snake Demon was able to warp time and space to bring warriors from across time together in one massive battle. I'm also the Mysterious JG, and I do want to thank you guys for stopping in here. That was a comment that popped up in another LP series, obviously. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for dropping in, and then this episode of Let's Play Mass Effect 3. Hitting the captain's cabin real quick, just in case that triggers something. I doubt it does. But this video is pretty much going to be us wandering around looking for stuff to do in the univoice of systems, basically. Basically, we're going to go see if there's systems that are not, quote, 100% cleared, where we can find loots and, you know, credits. At this point, the most valuable thing we can really find is credits, because we've got all the war assets we could ever need. But before we do one last trip to the Citadel, let's see what we can find as far as loots goes. Loot go lane. There does not appear to be anything going on in this system loot-wise. So, Aira, Shadow Sea, will continue. Horsehead Nebula, assault the elusive man space. That is going to continue to be a 0% or Kepler Verge. I'm pretty sure that is the system where the that mission where we touched base with Grunt after a long absence took place. Although maybe that was here. Now I'm starting to think that was here. Oh, because didn't this pick up like Rachni? Yeah. It's actually here, so let's go back to the Kepler Verge then. I'm hitting every system that we don't show 100% retrieval of loot. And checking to see if there's loot. And that's probably going to be the bulk of this video. Here's another little tiny system, so don't know what's going on here that it doesn't have loots, but oh, you know what, and we're going to find this as we go forward. Many of the systems that don't show, oh, the Nubian Expanse is where you can go to find the Nubian Expanse. Many of the systems we go to that don't show any percentage are going to be these little tiny self-contained areas from the Leviathan DLC. There are places that the Leviathan planet could have ended up. But here we found a system that's actually worth exploring. The jungle planet of Pragia is overrun with Prego. And your mama's so fat, her blood type is Ragu. Research data from Pragia. So that sounds like something that somebody was looking for on a Citadel side quest. 50% of assets recovered. So I'm guessing that out in the middle of nowhere here we'll find fuel. Yep. So let's deal with that when we come back.
Faster than light jump successful.
That's a fairly typical pattern. One planet in the system will have something cool on it, and then the other thing that you can get in the system is just fuel. Because it's supposed to represent a destroyed fuel post, although usually the fuel post is only in the... Oh, well, that's just a war asset, so that's really not useful to us at this point, but it helps us closer to having that dream achieved of a complete run. 50 units, nothing. But yeah, only the systems that were actually the mass relay systems within each cluster usually had fuel stations. So I'm not sure where the rest of this fuel is coming from, unless it's just supposed to be some spaceship got destroyed here and it had fuel, and maybe that's why there's only 50 units. Maybe it all makes sense. Maybe I can rationalize it. I have to try to rationalize it. I can't allow something to not make sense in this game. It would just destroy me. There's more war assets. again, much more interested at this point in gaining credits. Can't even really say much more interested. I mean, credits don't mean a whole lot at this point either. But just kind of, at this point, we might as well try to get all the loots in the game. There we go. That's what we wanted to pop out. Yeah, fuel depot. Again, there shouldn't be a fuel depot in this
Faster
system.
than light jump successful.
That's not the way fuel depots worked previously. There's no particular reason there wouldn't be a fuel depot in the system logically. It's just not the way the game rules have worked. The fuel depots in Mass Effect 2 were always located in the system with the actual. Whoa, you are fast-moving,
Evasion
aren't you?
successful.
Barely got out of there alive. Yeah, the fuel depots were always in the system in a cluster that had the Mass Effect relay. What are you? You're not even labeled. It's making it sound like I'm on a system. There's a Reaper floating around, but I can't go there. Maybe that's like endgame stuff, but no, the endgame should be the local cluster. The local cluster down here? Maybe the local cluster is up there, and it's just, yeah, that's right. It's not marked on our map in this game because you can't go there at any point before the last mission. Okay, so that section of space is actually clear then. So is that one. So there's the local. I think this is the local cluster, and they're showing it on the map for those who remember where the local cluster is in the Milky Way in previous games. But in fact, well, no, you're doing the same thing now. We can't go here. They can't all be the local cluster. Whatever. You, I know we haven't finished exploring because I started in that previous video, then realized I was out of fuel. I was like, yeah, because we found fuel here, which we didn't bother to collect. We'll collect it on the way out. The Horsehead Nebula. Doesn't this look like a horse's head? If you squint. And you have seen some really weird looking horses in your life?
I found something.
Did you? Did you really? I know there's going to be more than just this, right? Oh, okay, they're right next to each other. That's actually handy if we can start out at the right... there we go, that's what I want. Fuel depot. Ooh, that's a lot of fuel. Ooh. It's like the Oregon Trail. We recovered 1,000 pounds of food, can only carry 200 back to our wagon. Found all this fuel, but we don't actually get any kind of efficiency out of finding all that fuel at this point. Shadow Broker Starship Tech. Once again, it's a war asset, doesn't really mean anything at this point.
Evasion successful.
So, it lets us have that completionist feeling. And this is nowhere near as frustrating as trying to find all the Turian insignias or sorry matriarch writings and stuff. Okay, so it's right in here. Can I just find it, please? Thank you. Man, there's a lot of just loose war assets out here which don't actually tie into any quests at the Citadel. Of course, most of those are rewarded with just war assets too, so all this searching around, I'm really not going to find much of any great use. Maybe enough credits to help me buy 1 or 2 more little trinkets before we wrap this LP up, but and I have no idea how much cash money you're going to get from doing the Citadel DLC. Boy, this is not really a good idea. I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, woo! It didn't even let me get back out of that, woo! Didn't even let me get back out of that screen before telling me, you know what, nobody, you're fucked. As your fuel tally increases, you are being murdered by Reapers. Alright, well, let's not start
Evasion
here.
successful.
I guess this might work out, but I doubt it. Again, I'm trying to split the middle. That might work. Yeah, there you go.
Reapers eluded.
Good thing there's no penalty for failure. Or very little penalty for failure, at least.
I found something.
I don't really understand the point of making you gradually build up Reaper detection, because you can't find shit without scanning enough to get detected by the Reapers. Unless I'm completely misunderstanding how that scanning is supposed to be done. Terminus freighters. If I'm like...
Faster than light. Jump
oh,
successful.
wow. Okay, I'm glad I did check. I was going to go flying around looking for more treasures. Because most systems have at least 2. Well, there's a rare exception, so I'm glad I took a look. It's in a book reading rainbow. And lost the Reaper detection, even though I obviously had it here at one point. 100 shitty little units of fuel. Now let's render any economic gain from that moot by going and buying more fuel. Krogan DMZ doesn't have a Reaper floating over it, but still shows 100% complete, which is interesting, I suppose. I guess the Reapers have decided that the Krogans are not a threat, or I don't know. Their strategy does not seem to involve worrying about the Krogan too early in their proceedings. Okay. I'll tell you the truth, folks. I wouldn't object to this process being very quick and simple at all. I'll be fine with us not spending too much more time on this. I feel compelled to do it because we've come so close to clearing 100%, but I'm sure there's stuff we've missed here and there.
Signal confirmed.
I was about to give up. I was about to say, hey, we scanned and didn't get any Reaper alertness. Maybe the Ilium, eh? That rings a bell. Is this a place we spent a lot of time at in Mass Effect 2? The first place we became aware of the awesomeness that is Blasto? We got liquid assets. I'd almost be interested in reading on what those are, because it makes it sound like it's cash money. Ah, why did I do that? It was actually enough that it was worth getting. I just grabbed it without thinking. I usually save those to top off our tanks at the end. So that was a bit of a miscue, but I think we'll be alright. So there should be 2 assets to find in this system.
I found something.
There's 1. We're actually not getting that much Reaper alertness. Perhaps because of the size of the system. There's some fuel. Hey, plus 10,000 credits. Lusarn's heat pummels the Nirana. Why did that was so hard to guess the pronunciation? Nirana belt. A ring of protoplanetary matter relatively close to the star. However, this heat is not enough to instigate true melting as occurs in a planet's formation. So, carbonaceous asteroids such as Baalt retain a primitive makeup. Baalt has yet to be exploited, so the Reapers appear to have ignored it. Probe suggests it is high in chondrites and troilite. So, cash money. We are now cash money millionaires. Or at least we've got more cash money than we did before. And as I've said, yeah, cash money is more important at this point than war assets, because our war assets are basically topped out, maxed out. It's like we ate all of the crescent rolls that we could in River City Ransom, and now whatever crescent rolls increased, it's maxed out. So there's no point needing more crescent rolls unless you just need a hit point recovery. Yep, that's exactly what it's like. So yeah, the collector base was in here somewhere, as I recall. It's just a random thing to point out now, but Ismar Frontier. Why are you not already explored? I don't know. But let's take a moment to see if there's any exploring to be done. There's a fuel depot here, which
Signal
actually...
confirmed.
Interesting. It's the planet Volvino. Interesting. So it's one of these little self-contained systems which often don't have any treasure. For some reason, this planet is making me think about Solar Jet, man. But yeah, it's a self-contained system. They often don't have any treasure. It doesn't seem like... oh, and that's actually connected to a plot on the Citadel. Yeah, weird. Alright. So it was worth checking that out. And I have a feeling I've been here before, flew around, scanned a couple times. When the Reaper detection meter didn't increase, I figured it was one of those systems that didn't have treasure and left it alone. But no, there is stuff to be found there. This place is still flashing as though there is a mission to do, but that is not correct, so I'm not sure about that. Nimbus, Athena Nebula. Athena Nebula, I feel like we've tried to search before and there was just nothing going on. I did notice there was one there still to be cleared, so I haven't forgotten it. I'm just looking to see what else. I think when we came down here, this was just about done. So this is the end of the game, or the start of the end of the game. Anos Basin doesn't have a little Reaper logo over it, so it seems less likely than Athena Nebula to have loot for it. That's what I'm trying to say. But
I found something.
Yeah, there is stuff to be found here after all. Let's see what it is. And just finding one item is enough to give you an idea of what other stuff might be locatable. This system we now know is clear, but there's a whole lot more going on in the system. Interesting. But stupid. Is that over here?
Signal confirmed.
See, even when you don't scan anymore, as soon as you scan, it starts going up on its own. It's like, I don't get it. It's a purple planet. That's kind of cool for some reason. I like the idea of a purple planet.
Evasion successful.
Grab a bit of fuel and then get out. Please don't kill me while I'm grabbing the fuel. Thank you. Please do me too. Thank you.
Reapers eluded.
So we got a third of the treasure, and we got 3 treasures. So you mathematicians out there should know there's a total of 10 treasures to be found. That's the power of math.
Found something.
It's kind of like the power of Hercules, but it's different.
Faster than light jump successful.
So somewhere in here, one of these planets I would expect is another treasure. It's got to be that one, yep.
Evasion successful.
This is not a good entry point. This is a much better entry point. I hope they will be right on our ass as we come out of here, though. But hopefully we'll still have time to get away. And we're getting more war assets that don't matter. Still, though.
Faster than light jump successful.
We're more than halfway there. Oh, we're more than halfway there. Ah, leaving on a bread in my hand, and we'll make it out somewhere.
Signal confirmed.
Okay, that was awful. Managed to actually find loot without completely alerting the Reapers. Sure, they'll be alerted by the time I'm done in the system, but. And I found one of the ones that's actually connected to a Citadel plot. Although we have a history now of finding those, and then we can't find the person on the Citadel who actually wanted the item. But we got a little bit of fuel. More than a little bit of fuel, which is good, because we need it. Ialessa, whatever that is. However that's pronounced. That is going to be it for the Athena Nebula. Which means we'll have finished searching Asari space for loots. minute I thought this was a system where we couldn't gain their attention. I was fine with that. But it doesn't appear to still be the case.
Evasion successful.
I said something about the math earlier. I might have been wrong, because now we're at 77%, which doesn't really make sense for
Reapers eluded.
there being 10 assets to recover. How the hell did we get to 77%? I don't know, never mind. To mention the fact that I can't find anything here. Yeah, I see you guys.
Faster than light jump successful.
There's got to be something
Found
here.
something.
Oh, there's something. Oh, there's a lot of
Evasion
stuff.
successful.
Oh, I don't know about. Oh, there's a tiny little planet there. Tiny and wee. I can get this and then get out probably. Ooh, that'll top me off completely. That's good.
Reapers eluded.
Okay, there's like a rounding thing going on. When we find this last one, it'll, instead of being 99%, it'll be 100%. Rounding difference.
Faster
I
than
can live
light
with
jump
that.
successful. Evasion successful.
The planet Trigolon, which you can walk across in a day. It's like the planet where the little prince from outer space lives. The little prince from outer
Reapers
space.
eluded.
Okay, cool. So I think we pretty much cleared a sorry space of treasure. And it was one of the last big areas that we couldn't explore previously because they wanted us to do Asari related missions before getting involved with Asari treasure. It's time to call it a video, but I'm going to keep going only because we've only got like one system left to search. So we'll knock that out. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to find stuff here. I'm thinking we can't. But Serpent Nebula is not really searchable for treasure. I think it was that one, Anospace. But let's just double check over here. Horsehead Nebula we could travel to. I'm kind of... Well, we just saved. We can probably travel here without automatically triggering the mission. And see if there's stuff to search. And if that turns out not to be the case, then I've got to end the video. It's got a fuel depot. That usually means no treasure. Because the systems with treasure are the systems that have already been taken by the Reapers. So what we're going to do is fly out here, throw in a few scans, and if we can't find any sign of treasure, we're going to assume that you can't find treasure here. And we're just going to load. And I was about to just end the video and tell you, well, off screen I'll check that other place for cool stuff, but eh. Citadel firing range. I've never used that on camera. The one time I tried, it glitched the game. Crashed the Xbox, so I don't think I'll be bothering with that, but I was going to end the video and say, oh, I'll look off camera. If there's anything there, I'll tell you. But I'm like, why? That's the last place to search. Why should we not search it together? You and me, friends to the end. Just like Chucky and that kid from the first Chucky movie. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be devoid of treasure. That being said, I've run across systems that look like that before, and they had treasure. Like one piece of treasure, which turned out to actually be connected to a Citadel plotline. But we've had all 3 planets in range. Oh, there's 4 though. Okay, we've had all 4 planets in range of our scan, and nothing's popped up. So, I think in fact we well and truly can't get any loot. Well, you know, why am I bothering to load? We didn't use any fuel because we didn't do any intrastellar flights. We should have full fuel. Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and head for the Citadel. And what we're going to do, folks, is in the next video... Yeah, actually, this is like perfectly timed. In the next video, we will go to the Citadel. We will wander around the Citadel in the normal kind of way. Just looking to see if anyone has new dialogue after we finish that mission. Purchasing the last few bits and pieces that seem interesting to us. And that will probably not take an entire video. Also, of course, turning in any Asari artifacts and stuff that might be worth war assets or credits to anybody. That probably won't take an entire video, which means that I would guess that it seems fair. Normally, I wouldn't want to start a DLC in the middle of a video, but since it's the Citadel DLC, we're going to go to the Citadel and do some regular business before we start the Citadel DLC. Which presumably will involve us flying back into orbit, then going back to the Citadel and choosing to visit Anderson's apartment. Although we might be able to get it through the Citadel transit. At any rate, this video is over. When we come back, folks, Citadel fun. And like I said, since the next plot thing is the point of no return, I may do a Citadel wandering around video after the Citadel DLC if I'm given reason to believe that something will change. Or if I just earn enough credits during the Citadel DLC that I can buy more shit. But we're going into a long series of videos set on the Citadel, I would expect. And that's going to be it for the Citadel. We'll be saying goodbye to the Citadel, I believe, for the rest of the game. Series. I think. Maybe. We'll see. Bye for now, guys.